Self-love. What is a real self-love? How do I express a self-love to myself? How I recommend people to express self-love to themselves? And even why do you really need to do that? Hi, my name is Ania and I welcome you on my channel, on my podcast, where I teach you to expand your awareness and narrow your focus. I speak about personal development and spirituality. If you like to know a little bit more about myself, why you should be listening to me, or just know my story, there is somewhere link below to find out more about me. But this video is not about me, even that I love myself. It's all about you. And today I want to give you a huge value that you can use on a daily basis in manifestation of a life of your dreams. So to manifest anything, we do not manifest from what we want. We manifest from who we are. And if we want more love, joy, excitement in life, and if we don't feel those emotions towards ourselves, it'll be hard to manifest them. So what in my eyes self-love is? So self-love is that massive, huge feeling that literally makes you feel okay no matter what. It makes you feel absolutely safe. It makes you feel like, you know what, on the end of the day, it's okay. I'm not gonna be judging myself. I'm not gonna be talking badly about myself. So I like to look at the self-love like on my relationship, a person I love. How do I act towards that person? And here's a simple example, right? Especially with women and aging and maybe having kids. I've been there, right? So when you're in a relationship and you love someone and you truly love them, you don't talk badly to them, do you? You don't, with age, with years, don't talk badly to them, do you? You don't, with age, with years going by, you don't tell them, oh my God, you aged, you really aged, you have another new wrinkle there, and oh my God, your tummy is hanging now a little bit, but you do talk like that to yourself very often. So this cancels the self-love. In my opinion, if you love yourself, you treat yourself with respect, you think about yourself with respect, you talk to yourself with respect. So here we go. It brings us down to three planes that we are living on. So our intellectual plane, our spiritual plane, and our physical plane. So what do I do on those three planes to keep my love for myself fresh? So let me begin with intellectual plane. So I actually think of myself. I think, what would I love? Like, you think of a friend or your partner, your spouses. Oh, what would they love for Christmas? Or what would they love to do tomorrow? What would make them happy? I actually think like that about myself as well as about others. Of course, we compromise, we go to the conclusions, or I do in my own mind when I'm planning things. But thinking about yourself, it's absolutely huge. Now, very important thing. What do you think of yourself when no one is around? Or how do you speak to yourself when no one listens? Those questions are hugely important to ask yourself when you're working on self-love. If you lack in any love in life, if you are feeling drained, if you feel tired, if you start noticing that you are talking badly to yourself, or just something is a little bit off, yourself, ask yourself those questions. How am I speaking to myself about myself when no one listens? So let's say at the mornings, when you wake up and you look in the mirror, how do you speak to yourself? Have you been kind and nice to yourself, or maybe you judging and you're rude and you mean? That sets you for the whole day. So it is very important to recognize what are we doing right now? How do we talk to ourselves in our minds, which is the intellectual plane? And of course, how I express the love on the intellectual plane is, I know my mind, my brain likes to like learn things. So I do that. I do new things. And that's for me expressing self-love to myself, right? Or reading. That's what I love. That's what my mind loves. And it's not necessarily even about getting the knowledge. It's not. It's about actually just sitting down and reading, which gives me loads of pleasure. Now, on the spiritual plane, how do I express love for my soul? I let her speak. I let my soul speak and I listen. I listen with my ears, with my heart, because my soul talks to me all the time. Now, to get that, to allow your soul to be nice and loud and louder than your mind, you have to trust yourself. By yourself, I mean you are a spirit, actually. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. It's just easier to say, our soul. So, when you build the trust for yourself, and that comes down to a physical plane. So, let's say you said to yourself, you know what, this time I'm gonna go on the diet, I'm gonna feel fantastic, and I'm gonna carry on for 6 months. And you did it. And you trusted yourself. And you proved yourself that able to keep the word. But if you broke that trust a couple of times, when you promise yourself something, when you said you will do something and you didn't, that trust is broken and your soul is not willing to talk to you anymore, because the soul knows then she's not ready to listen yet, and the soul wouldn't really bother then, or maybe it's still speaking, it's just quiet. Well, it's still speaking, it always does speak, but the mind is much louder. The soul wouldn't scream and shout because you will not receive the messages. So for your soul, what you can do is sit in quietness and start listening to it. Act on the impulse. Your heart says to you, for example, oh, I wonder what's going on with, Mary. I haven't seen in 10 years. Boom, you ring her. Because if you had that thought out of nowhere and you had a little tiny need or want to call her and you didn't, those things are hugely important. Those little things, we think they are little things, but they actually show ourselves we trust ourselves. We trust what comes into us and we act on it. So that's the second plane, the spiritual plane. It's as simple as acting on your impulse, sitting and listening to the soul, not to the mind, to the soul. Now, and the third one is the physical one. Well, we have our bodies, beautiful bodies. And how do we appreciate them? How do we show them the love we have for them? So for me is I actually tell my body it's beautiful, and I thank my body and that for the great job it's doing right now, and for many, many years that I was damaging it, drinking alcohol, loads of it. I eating fast food, loads of it, and my body, my tummy, my amazing tummy still was processing it. And it's still now when I do that, when I eat loads of sugar, let's say, when I have a day off like that, it happens. It always happens, not always, like it happens every now and then. For whatever you do, or for whatever I do to my body, like I'm grateful for it, that it is taking it and minding me. Still, it's my vehicle on this earth, right? So what else do we do? What else do I do? Is going to the gym as often as I can, as I want. Going for walks, all the physical things that Move your body. By moving your body, you're moving the energy in the body, which is very, very important. So this is a self-love on the 3 planes for me and how I carry that on. However, there is a little trick. You might be doing those things and you still feel like you're not really loving yourself to the capacity that you would love to. The little trick is that you have to be mindful of doing those things for yourself. I tell you a quick story about my client who was working. We were working together on getting her self-love back, really. And one of her actions to show self-love, self-appreciations was to go for coffee by herself with her favorite magazine, right? So she is working in a corporation, but she is really creative and she loves like not art even, but like architectures and fashion. So she's taken those magazines that she haven't done in a while now, busy life, and she went for coffee. Now, why did we choose that exercise for her, that experience for her to show herself love? Why? Because she loves bringing a little gift to people around her. So let's say for a person who walks her dog, she loves bringing a coffee that she loves, and she always says how her heart was warm when she's seen a beautiful smile on the girl who's walking the dog, beautiful smile, and she just enjoys little gifts, giving little gifts. So we said, okay, when did you do that for yourself last? And she said, oh my gosh, I don't know, So she chosen to do that for herself. However, when she came back after her coffee with herself, the next day we were speaking, and I asked her, how's the experience? How did you feel? And she said, you know what? It was actually just normal. I still prefer to buy coffee for someone else. Like, that was very interesting. So I asked her, what were you thinking when you were actually getting the coffee? And she said, like, what you mean? I said, well, like, what were you thinking? And she said, I don't know. I was probably thinking I can't wait to sit down for 15 minutes because the exercise was actually only 15 minutes. It doesn't have to take half of the day. No, step by step, right? Showing yourself, your mind, your body that you love it and you appreciate it. When it's mindless, it wouldn't do the job. So the next time she went for coffee, she actually put herself mindfully into the state of joy, appreciation, and self-love. So when she was getting the coffee, she was thinking, I'm so happy. I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm spending that time with you. And I love this coffee. Oh my God, cannot wait to drink it. I'm so good for myself, to myself. I cannot wait to enjoy it. And so tasty. And she was consciously choosing the thoughts she wanted to think. Actually, even the thoughts that, people were telling her how they feel when she gives them with little gifts. She was getting those thoughts into her mind. After a couple of minutes, she had that massive, overwhelming even, that's her words, a feeling of love and warmth in her body. Isn't that amazing? Of course it is. We can generate. And she said the day was so good then, and she met such a nice people, and da. Within minutes, we can generate self-love, appreciation. We can radiate that energy to the world, and the world will give us back everything that we feel. So this is self-love in a nutshell. If you would like to work on it, sit down with a pen and paper, ask yourself those questions I told you earlier on in the video. Contact me, we can work together. For now, I wish you loads of self-love, and I will see you in the next video.